In this info bit, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about the disease of obesity and how we define it. Obesity is not just extra weight, it's the point at which a patient can start to experience really serious medical conditions as a direct result of excess weight. We define obesity clinically as having a body mass index of 30 to 40, and we define morbid obesity as patients who have a BMI over 40. Morbid basically just means that this is a point at which your weight can really become a matter of life or death. What is BMI? It stands for Body Mass Index. Most of you probably have heard this term thrown about and you may be very familiar with it. It's just a measurement of your weight status. And the formula is pretty complicated. It's your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. So it's too complicated to figure out in your head. You have to go to a BMI calculator like the one that we have on our website at loseweightcincy.com. Just click on BMI calculator and put in your weight and height, and it'll tell you exactly what your BMI is. The important thing to really understand about body mass index is that it's a more accurate way to gauge how serious excess body weight is than just a patient's weight alone. Because if we look at this line here, which is the 40 BMI, if we have a patient who's on the short side, only 4 foot 8 inches tall, in order for that patient to have a BMI of 40, he or she only has to weigh 180 pounds. So if you're just looking at the weight on this patient, you might not think that they could have significant risk from their excess body weight, but they definitely do because their BMI is 40. Studies have shown over the years that patients who have a body mass index over 40 will have their life expectancy reduced by 7 years on average. And if you look at this graph that shows body mass index versus mortality, you can see that the relative mortality rate, which basically just means the number of patients per 1,000 that are dying, it really goes up quickly as a patient's body mass index goes up. So a patient who has a body mass index of around 42 has a relative mortality rate of nearly 400, which is almost 4 times as high as that of a patient with a normal body mass index. So this is really a pretty serious disease that we're talking about here, and it shouldn't be taken lightly.